Well, hello, and how are you doing? Actually, I'm wearing the glasses tonight because I was able to set the lights up so that it doesn't actually reflect too badly, or not at all, hopefully. At least that's the plan. It shouldn't. Time will tell. So this isn't live, unfortunately. It is recorded. Just letting you know that in advance. I apologize that it's recorded, but I intended to go live last night. However, I had, as you may have read in the description, 3 sleepless nights for the most part, and I was in bed at 9 p.m., or 8 p.m. last night, I should say. So I thought I'd hop on today and record a little bit. Glasses are a little dirty, but that's fine. I can clean them later. I just hope there's no massive reflection. Using a different camera today because I was having problems with my Logitech Brio, this little guy here. It, for some strange reason, it was going in and out of, zooming in and out on its own. And I couldn't figure out the problem if it was a software-related one or not. So I had to use another webcam. I will eventually get a mirrorless DSLR, but they're a little bit out of my price range right now, and considering the fact that I have very little money coming in, I don't think that now is the time to have that. Where is my... There it is. Let's see if I can... because I'm using a different camera, I lost one of my effects this evening, it would seem. I don't know what's going on. Let's see if I can bring this up. There's the subscribe function. Let's see. That should bounce in and out of the screen. It should just occasionally, I don't know. It's more decorative than anything else, to be honest with you. It'll move around on its own. You can scan the QR code. That'll take you to the website. Or you can subscribe as well. If you click on the subscribe button, which will be down in right here. Right, it should be right there. Anyway, just playing with different things, you know. So I do want to address my mental health, which has not been great as of late, to be honest with you. Sleepless nights certainly don't help. They definitely do cause a great deal of harm. And that's never fun now, is it? And I'll be honest with you, I was really suffering there for a little while. I know it was only 3 days, but when you are getting 4 hours or less sleep a night, it really does affect your mental health. You start to, well, for me, I suffer from horrible anxiety when that happens. I tried to take a nap on Saturday afternoon and again on Sunday afternoon, and was not able to, as I was finding myself having full-blown anxiety attacks while trying to rest. Thinking about all the little things in life that disturbs one person that normally I'm able to push aside, but if I'm running on little to no sleep, that is a very different story. So yeah, that's how my last few days have been. Relatively sleepless, anxiety-ridden. And at this time of the year, when we get so little in the amount of daylight hours, and it tends to be overcast darn near every day. I think we've had 2 sunny days in January thus far, and it's the 14th. Maybe 3, I'm not sure. I'd have to check the calendar of Environment Canada to see, but it's been mostly overcast and cloudy, yet we've had very little in the way of snow. I think we got about 10 centimeters yesterday. Most of it is gone. We had a fair bit at Christmas, but it's almost all gone now. That being said, the canal is open, so I will be able to get out on my skates this week. I was hoping to get out on the weekend, but when, You're running on 4 hours sleep. That's just not ideal to go out for a skate amongst lots of people. When you're feeling anxious, restless, quite frankly, cranky and short-tempered, because that's what happens when you don't sleep enough. So how was your weekend? Because to be honest, mine was not great. I tried to watch some of the NFL playoffs, but I really couldn't concentrate on any of it. And not that I care. I'm a CFL guy, Canadian Football League. But I always enjoy the playoffs. But I just couldn't, I really couldn't bring myself to concentrate on any of the games. I was trying to watch them, and I just didn't give a darn. So I ended up watching the compressed versions on YouTube afterwards for just the highlights and the actual plays, as opposed to all of the back and forth banter going throughout the match. And that was how I was able to get caught up, although I can't remember who won what, other than in NCAA, the Ohio State Buckeyes won. So I guess they're off to play for the national title now. Anyway, sports ball. I am a sports ball fan. Not everybody is, I understand that. That's quite all right. You don't have to be. I don't expect you to be. Sorry, just notifications popping up on my screen over here. I was doing some production work earlier, and I have more to do, but I think after this I'm going to take a break and just go across the street to the pub. Maybe have a beer. I don't know. I just need to get out of my apartment as I'm going a little squirrely. I'll take my dog Lola for a walk, and then I'll go for a pint and just sit and chill for a little bit. I'll have possibly just a non-alcoholic Guinness. I don't really want any alcohol today, but I do want the warm atmosphere of the pub, along with, conversation from some friends that'll be there, I know that, and staff, and just to get away and get out. January is a tough month, and it's been tough on me thus far. Discouraged with work, discouraged with lack of job opportunities, just discouraged. So, as I said last week, that's why I'm going full whole hog in on this. I wish to do nothing but voiceover work from here on out, combined with my jazz show, my pop music show, the political show, and this, of course, along with anything I can generate via narration, via ACX, Audible, I should say. I've narrated 2 books thus far. I also intend to pursue some voiceover work for commercials, as I do different styles of voices. This is just my natural speaking voice. Most people don't get to hear it outside of this venue or milieu or medium, because if I'm in a loud environment, I have to change the pitch and timbre of my voice so that I can be heard. And quite honestly, I need to be able to hear myself. But to give you an idea of what I can do, I'll do a little thing here. Just a second. Welcome to WCAZ, Modern Rock 95.6. Yeah, mate. What you say we go down to the pub, have a couple of pints, eh? You good for that, huh? You can see the rigger. We go to hunt crocodiles some days, eh? And that's a little idea of what I can do. That's a glimpse at it. There's many other voices I can do in other accents, but that was just an off-the-cuff, nothing rehearsed, no scripts. I enjoy doing that. It's fun for me, and it presents itself as a challenge because not every opportunity that's presented to me is as easy to fulfill as I would wish. That being said, what good is life if it's not a challenge? What good is an occupation, I should say? Life presents enough challenges on its own, but what good is an occupation if there's no challenge to it? I like to be challenged. I like to overcome obstacles. Sometimes I'm good at it, sometimes I fail, sometimes I stumble and fall, and that is going to happen because, well, that's just how life is. So here I sit, in my studio, speaking into the microphone, telling you folks about my mental health. And I hope it doesn't bore you. My goal for this has always been to try and help as many people as possible. And the thing I've always said is that I don't care about your politics, your religion, your beliefs, your culture. None of that matters. If you come here for help, I will try and help you in any way I can. By opening up about mental health, anxiety, depression, how one should or how one can manage mental health. I'm not a professional. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. I worked in construction for 29 years building networks and giant audiovisual systems. That's my area of expertise. I just happen to have a lot of years battling depression and anxiety. And I've read a lot about the subject. Consulted with therapists and psychiatrists. And my family physician. And I've come to the conclusion that talking about my experience helps create a community-like feeling so that others who may be feeling the same way as me know that they're not alone. Because you're not. Even though I know you feel it when you're suffering. I know how empty and lonely that feeling is. I've been there more times than I care to mention. And although I was feeling a little empty on the weekend, largely due to the lack of sleep, last night I was able to get enough sleep so that I feel good about myself today and productive. Yesterday was not feeling that at all. I was hating on myself yesterday, thinking of myself as a complete failure. And yet the circumstances that put me in the position I'm in were no fault of my own. It was not my doing. I didn't put myself in this position. But I find myself here, so now it's time to pursue. It's time to pursue something I've wanted to do for a very, very long time. And I'm doing it, little by little, slowly generating income. Not enough to survive on, mind you, but, to pursue your passion and the money will come. So yes, narration, voiceover work. My music shows. I have a jazz show on Spotify. It's called Songs and Stories, Supplemental Jazz Edition. There's about 87 or 88 shows. You can find it on Spotify if you like jazz. And if you go to Mixcloud, you can find my show on Mixcloud. I can't remember what the name of it is now. I haven't put anything up in over a year or so. I have some shows I need to work on. If you go to mixcloud.com/Paul-Atkinson16, that'll take you right to my homepage, and there's, 400 shows there or something like that. I don't know how many shows. No, sorry, not 400, not that many. There's a lot of shows there. That's all I'm going to say. There's a lot of shows there. Where's my phone? Just misplaced it. I just felt the vibration of it, and I don't know where it went. But, I've got several hundred hours of shows, actually, on Mixcloud, if you want to go check it out. And I'm going to be changing things up there and going with a constant screen, a constant, what's the snapshot image, whatever you call it. I can't remember the name of it right now. If you want to go there and check that out. And like I said, on Spotify, you can find supplemental Songs and Stories Supplemental Jazz Edition. And you'll recognize the photo right away because it's the still that's always at the start and end of this show, of me sitting at the Lieutenant's Pump in a booth. I thought it looked jazzy, so hence its name. So enough about me, enough about my pursuits, my future pursuits, my plans to earn a living doing something that I love to do and I find challenging, and it keeps my attention. And I think, as somebody with anxiety, depression, and ADHD, that's probably a good thing. Pursue something you're passionate about. I just hope I can survive on the money I have now so that I can turn this into a living. Anyway, that is my goal. And if you want, you can share this channel with as many people as you like. For anybody who needs to And I recognize that as self-serving. Yes, it is self-serving because the channel is soon to be monetized. But it really is my way of helping people with my limited means. I don't have the money to do much more than this. This is the extent of what I can do. So if I can help somebody by opening up about my struggles with anxiety, depression, and the occasional ADHD moment where you find yourself so hyper laser focused you can have 14 hours pass by and realize you haven't had anything to eat or drink, you're lightheaded, and now you desperately need to use the toilet. That happens sometimes. Not healthy. So I find now when I get hungry, even though I'm laser focused, I've decided that I'm going to take a break, feed myself, get something to drink, and then come back at it. Now that might only be a 15-minute break, which is not long enough, truth be told, but I can't be away too long because then I'll lose my focus and whatever project I was working on will get shuffled off to the wayside, which is sort of what's happened to my jazz and pop music shows. I haven't been able to focus enough lately. But I am going to do a jazz show immediately after this, so it'll be released probably tomorrow if I get it all done today. And I think I might start to release these shows on Spotify as well. I can just post it via one of my pieces of software I use. I'll just create a new channel. It will be the same thing, the ASMR, mental health ASMR talks. And I'll put it available for everybody to listen to. It's going to take a little bit of work because I have, I don't know, a couple hundred shows, so I have to download, transcribe, and upload. And anyway, it'll take some time, but I will get it done. I do promise you that. When I don't know. But I have the time to do it, and I was able to focus enough today to get a few things done, so that makes me very happy. I feel like I've accomplished something. And I find some days the accomplishment is getting out of bed and bathing. Some days the accomplishment is getting all of your tasks done, and you feel guilty if you don't. But don't feel guilty. Don't feel guilty if you don't get everything done you set out to do. For tomorrow is another day and the sun will rise. And you can tackle those things the next day, because they're going to be there. I guarantee you that. Okay. I think it's time for me to wind it up. Short and sweet today. And apologies for not providing you with anything yesterday. That being said, I might come back again this week and record some more, because I feel I owe it to you. Okay. Yep. That's it. Time for me to head out. You take care. I'll see you later. Bye.
We'll be right back.